Representative Stansbury, who is representing New Mexico's 1st District, and that she retained the district that Madam Secretary represented. Ms. Stansbury?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the ranking member and to all of my colleagues. It's an honor to be able to serve with you here on this committee, and to Secretary Holland. It's humbling to be here, and I'm getting emotional as I was sitting here listening to you speak. It's so humbling and such an honor to be able to see you serving our nation. New Mexico is so proud. Our country is so proud. You are exactly where you need to be, and you are already bringing the change that our nation needs to see. So thank you for your service and everything that you are doing. When I look at the President's budget, Mr. Chairman, and the request for the Department of the Interior, I feel hope. The American people know that the science is clear and that we must urgently address climate change. I am grateful to see that our budget reflects that, and that if we are going to preserve our planet for future generations, that we address both the causes of climate change and the impacts to our communities, and that we center and lift up our communities in the process. Together, I know that we can build a world that is more just and more equitable and more climate resilient. And this budget actually invests in our communities, in protections for our lands, waters, and wildlife, and in their future, which is exactly what we need to do to ensure our future resilience. As you know, Madam Secretary, our state and our country are facing an unprecedented drought across the West that is heavily impacting New Mexico, that has shattered records already this season, and that is threatening the future of our communities and increased wildfire and drought risks moving forward. Millions of Americans already live without access to clean and safe drinking water, and this crisis disproportionately impacts communities in New Mexico, particularly in our tribal communities. We have to take action now to address the water needs of our communities and climate change, and ensure that we are addressing these impacts across our country. I am grateful to see the department's budget allocate significant funding also for public lands, for wildlife mitigation, builds and fortifies our water infrastructure, and supports our communities. I am also, Madam Secretary, deeply proud to see the ways in which this budget reflects our commitment to restorative justice and tribal sovereignty. Secretary Holland, I've seen your work over the last several months in lifting up the work of missing and murdered Indigenous women, and this week in launching the Federal Indian Boarding School Truth Initiative. These historic steps will begin to address and reconcile our country's brutal history and the need for healing and justice in our country. Thank you for your bravery in bringing these initiatives forward. Madam Secretary, I'm also just so grateful for your service and look forward to working with you in the transformative work that we have to do for our country and our communities. And Mr. Chairman, I would like to just ask Madam Secretary if you could share more with us about your work on missing and murdered Indigenous women and the work that you're hoping to do, as well as the boarding school initiatives that you've launched this week.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for the question. And I want to, and I appreciate your kind words very much. And of course, I am a proud New Mexican sitting here today. I want to sort of emphasize President Biden's commitment to diversity and how important it is that we have diverse voices, those perspectives from folks who generally haven't had a say in a lot of the policy that or the ideas or the work that comes out of the federal government. And so for that, I'm proud to have those opportunities. The missing and murdered Indigenous women has been on my mind for a very long time, and I'm happy that it has achieved some prominence in sort of mainstream issues, right? People don't know to care about something unless they know about it. And so raising the issue time and again helps the public to really coalesce and realize that it's an important issue that all of us should care about. So I appreciate your help on that as well. The boarding school initiative, we after I heard the news of the grave in Canada, it made me think about a day that I was sitting with my grandmother and just talking about her experience when the priest gathered up children from around the village and put them on a train to go to Santa Fe. And I know that's an experience that a lot of communities have, and so I'm happy to move those issues forward and appreciate your support on all of those. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Secretary.
gentlemen.
Thank you, I yield.
Gentlelady yields. Representative Moore?